morning and welcome. These events, many of you have been to equivalent events before, and for some of you it's the first time, and for some of you it's a very personal time. But on behalf of Bolles, let me thank you for coming out to support our young men this morning. This event represents the first of sort of a culmination event for seniors in combination with their graduation from the Bolles School. And it always reminds me of how the Bolles School is so very different from other high schools. The phrase student athlete is thrown out a lot, and frankly misused. There's a range of student athletes, but there are many high schools in the country that can claim athletic success, and some of that success is based on students that are not destined for college, and that's fine. They do good work with students, and they do good work with their athletic programs. But a school that succeeds in athletics and academics to the extent that occurs here at Bolles is really very, very rare, if not unique, in the country. And there is no better event than this event today to demonstrate that to people who really don't understand how Bolles student athletes are really very, very unusual. And as you see and hear about the accomplishments of these young men in their athletic endeavors, I just urge you to take note of the identity of the institutions that they're going to academically, and recognize that these are indeed very rigorous, very selective colleges and universities that a lot of great athletes in this country couldn't ever hope to gain admission to. So would you join me in congratulating all of these young men for their accomplishments? Today we recognize their accomplishments outside the classroom, but as you hear the names of the institutions that have actively pursued these young men, you will recognize that they also made significant accomplishments in the classroom. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jim Lieb, our soccer coach. Coach?
Thank you, Dr. Trainer, and welcome to all of you, in particular members of Carlos's family, some of whom are here in the audience tonight, as well as some who are watching via Skype back in Mexico. It's my pleasure to stand up here and talk about Carlos a little bit. Carlos has been a very special player for us the past 2 seasons. One of the most talented soccer players that Bolles has ever seen come through the school history. He's got 47 goals for a career, which right now for the boys is tied 3rd all time. And as we make a deep, deep playoff run again, he might be able to move up another couple of spots. He was named as to the Times Union All-Tournament team last year. It was all district. I think this year should be really the front runner for the Times Union Player of the Year, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that that happens. You know, Carlos chose Wofford not only because of his talents and his ability on the soccer field, but also because of the rigors of their physics and engineering program, which he's planning on majoring in. It's like another soccer player and physics teacher I know. It's truly been a pleasure to coach him. He's been an inspiration to the younger players. He's been a great leader and a great captain for us, and wish him all the best and continued success at the next level on to Wofford. Carlos Dominguez-Gonzalez. And I'd like to turn things over to Coach Rogers right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. It's sure a privilege for us also to have these young men up here today representing us. You know, a lot of times when the team has success, the coaches, we get the credit. But believe me, we're just very average football coaches with good players, and this shows it right here. The 5 guys that we've got this morning that are signing, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5. Starting with Taylor Betros right here, going to Cornell University. As Dr. Trainer said, I guess when you're talking about student athletes and you're talking about the Ivy League, that gets about as good as it gets. Certainly that family has been so good to us, and we got to keep them coming somehow. We got to keep Betroses here at our school. That they've been so important to us. But what a football player, baseball player, great guy, great family, and believe me, part of the reason for our success is because of this guy right here. He's going to do well there, I promise you. The next guy, Tyler Scott. You know, there's one thing when you have linemen, and I'm looking down here, we're a little worried. We're graduating 2 or 3 of our linemen here. Our defensive guys are kind of dominating this thing up here just about and looking at it. But Tyler has been a 3-year starter for us, baseball player also, but I don't think people understand how good an athlete he is. And I think this is what's going to help him at Presbyterian. Not only has he got the size and the strength, but he's got speed and he's an athlete. He can throw the football. He's faster than he looks. Is that right? Did I say that right? But we're going to sure miss these guys defensively, and you know, he's been a stalwart for us, you know, for a long time. Now you look down to Nathan Theus. Nathan's going to the University of Georgia. Obviously, a very good football player. I think sometimes it's overlooked how good a player he was because he's such a good long snapper. And, you know, he's going there to be a football player and a long snapper. And whatever works out, it works out. But he was a quality football player. That's a quality family. It's people that have helped us at Bowles obtain what we have football-wise. We've still got one younger brother and another one coming. So, again, these are Bowles families. The University of Georgia, even though I was a Georgia Tech graduate, down in my heart, I know what kind of school that is. I know the quality people up there. The head football coach I know is a wonderful man and I've known him for a while. And we certainly respect you, Nathan, and nothing but good things for you up there, bud. Matt Cheney, you know, Matt, I was also thinking about something else when Dr. Trainer was talking about the student athletes. We have people transfer over and come to us from different schools. Episcopal High School, some of these guys have gone there for a while and ended up at our place. And you know, those are 2 pretty good academic places there, and I'm glad they chose to do so. I think Matt, he's going to sign with Florida Atlantic, and one of the things that we love about him, you know, you hear people say they're a higher energy player, their motor doesn't stop. Well, that really is him. He goes hard all the time in practice, all the time in the games. I just don't know how he's not going to be successful. He's a good student athlete, but he will get after it on the field. And I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud that worked out for him. And great job, man. The last football guy that we've got down at the end, David Frechette. I always say that name wrong. When I hear you're on your answering machine, it's Frechette?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've said it wrong for 4 years or 3 years, so I'm going to get it right today. And I didn't know it until I heard the answering machine. That's the only way I figured that thing out. But I personally felt like that he was the best athlete on our football team. And I've told that to many people. And just could do just about anything on our team. And we moved him from the quarterback position to the safety and played wide receiver, but he returned all the punts, all the kickoffs, had interceptions for touchdowns, had receptions for touchdowns, ran back things. I mean, just a marvelous athlete going to the U.S. Naval Academy. And I think that's a special place. We've been blessed since I've been here at Bowles to have had quite a few people go there. And, you know, those academies are a special place, and great young men come from them. So our representatives up here today, football-wise, we're sure proud of for what they've done for us. We've still got another introduction up here if we could. We'll get that one. But for the football guys, we're sure proud of them. And then after we introduce our crew young man, then Dr. Trainer will come back up, if you could, at that time. Okay, thank you.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce a new coach to the Bolles community this year, to introduce one of our rowers who's signing today. Will you join me in welcoming for the very first time Coach Ollie Rosenblatt?
Thank you, Dr. Trainer, Coach Rogers, and congratulations to all the young men who are signing here today. I feel very proud and indeed very fortunate to be speaking on Connor White's behalf. In my first year here at Bolles, Connor and the White family have been immensely supportive of my efforts here. Connor is not only a fantastic athlete, he's a wonderful teammate, he's a great leader, and I couldn't have asked for a better senior captain and athlete in my first year as coach here. At the Naval Academy, they have a long and proud tradition in crew, indeed in academics and athletics, and that combination of leadership, service, academics, and athletics is really a perfect fit for Connor. Connor's a hard worker, he's an intense competitor, and again, what he brings to the team is much more than the measure of his individual athletic success. If you see the Navy crew hat in front of him, it's a little beat up. Knowing as I do, crew is one of those sports where you can wear a hat while you practice or while you race, and knowing as I do how much Connor sweats when he works out on any given day, I give that hat 1.5 years tops. Congratulations to Connor on his signing to the U.S. Naval Academy.
As the coaches come up, and we proceed in just a second to have these young men sign their letters of intent, and the photographers can come forward if you want to get closer for that. Let me remind you that we also have a very, very talented cadre of women student athletes. And at this same place tomorrow, we will have a number of women signing their letters of intent, and you're all invited back to join us on that occasion as well. But gentlemen, coaches, if you want to join them, the time has come, and we congratulate you as you sign your letters of intent. Thank you all for coming.